I'm Andy Gracie. I'm a British artist. I've been resident in Spain for quite a long time now, and for maybe 15 or 16 years now I've been working with various interpretations of the relationships between art and science. This project, which is called Drosophila titanus, is a project which is about 3 or 4 years old now and is an ongoing project which will maybe need another 200 or 300 years to reach its completion. It's a project in which, to put it simply, I'm attempting to breed a new species of the common fruit fly, whose scientific name is Drosophila melanogaster, and I'm attempting to breed a new species which be capable of living on Saturn's moon Titan. Titan is the largest moon of Saturn, and so far, although we're discovering an increasingly large amount of Earth-like exoplanets, planets orbiting other stars, Titan's still so far the place which is most like the Earth that we know for various reasons. It has a thick atmosphere, it has a liquid cycle, it has continents, it has tectonic activity. Many astronomers, astrophysicists regard Titan as kind of a cryogenic version of the early Earth. So in many ways, Titan can be taken as a metaphor for the Earth itself. The fruit fly, Drosophila melanogaster, is also, I see that as a metaphor for ourselves. It's an organism which is one of the most important model organisms that we have available in modern biotechnology. It shares a very large percentage of similarity of its genes with the human beings, and especially the genes which govern kind of aging and psychological behaviour. So we use it for studying kind of addiction and adaptation to circumstances for the human. So by combining the Drosophila and Titan metaphoric, I'm looking at the relationship between the humans and Earth, and also about how we might be able to survive, or what life will be like on other planets in future scenarios. So there's a kind of a narrative arc to the project about this, about the future of species, about the definition of species, about some kind of quest for biological perfection for environment, and about the difference between natural and artificial selection of an organism, and how we kind of begin to manufacture organisms and manufacture species, and what that actually means and what that stands for. And also, in a large way, the project is also a comment, increasingly commenting on the interest I have in the relationship between art and science itself, about two disciplines I see which are highly complementary but also highly incompatible. There's a lot of discussion now about how art and science can unite to become this common field, which I don't agree with at all. I think there's certain aspects of science which make it incompatible with art, and certain aspects of art which make it incompatible with science. But what is interesting is, for one, to study the dialogue between those two fields, and also to really look at the areas where the tension becomes enough that they break apart, they separate. You can follow a line of inquiry, a line of research where art and science can become as one, but there always becomes a point where there's a separation. I'm very interested in looking at that point of separation. So in this project, Drosophila titanus, I'm following a very rigorous scientific kind of methodology, experimental methodology, in the way that I'm selecting my flies, in the way in which I'm basing experiments to acclimatize them for aspects of Titan's character, like increased atmospheric pressure, changes in gravity, the atmospheric composition, the increased cold. Various aspects like this which are very different from Earth, which the flies would have to accustom themselves to, and through these evolutionary pressures would then become speciation. So the experiments which I design and carry out to make the selections based on these criteria had to be very rigorous scientific, otherwise it's pointless, it's meaningless, it's just a game. But what I'm looking for by doing these experiments is by looking for the elements of narrative and the elements of metaphor and the ambiguities and the poetries which then make these scientific looking actions actually change them into artistic gesture. So I'm looking closely at this point of tension where you begin to, by following one methodology, you actually become forced into a different methodology. By following a scientific procedure where the end result is kind of impossible and kind of ridiculous, because to breed a new species of fly to live on Titan is kind of ridiculous and kind of impossible, but by following a scientific procedure to get to this goal, then it's inevitable that you have to then take a path towards art at some point, and it's at which point that scientific activity becomes the artistic activity which particularly interests me in this project.